Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Sports Fan Network, and I'm Travis.
And I'm Andrew.
And today in our video, we're going to do our ALDS preview between the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros, and we're going to be breaking it down into categories for starting pitchers, offense, defense, bullpen, and then overall, who do we think is going to win this series? So, Andrew, I'll start with you. Who do you have winning the starting pitching matchup?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. Obviously, I think the Boston Red Sox have the best pitchers in this entire series. When you look at Chris Sale here, just looking at his numbers here, a 2.90 ERA with 308 strikeouts. I think the guy is just absolutely dominant out there, and he makes batters look silly up there at the plate. But I feel like Houston Astros have a little bit more depth at the starting pitching position, particularly when you look at they have Justin Verlander, who they traded for. He's 5-0 with a 1.06 ERA since being traded to Houston from Detroit. And then, of course, they have Dallas Keuchel, who is 14-5 with a 2.90 ERA. He's been their ace for the last few years, and he's been very good this season as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Chris Sale has been completely dominant, notching over 300 strikeouts in one season. That is not something you see very often. And for the Astros, this Justin Verlander trade is starting to really look good for him. He kind of struggled while he was in Detroit, but since coming over to Houston, he's been lights out. It has looked like the ace that they needed. And for the Astros to have Verlander and Dallas Keuchel, now that's one A, one B for starting pitchers. That's a great duo. So for me in this matchup, I'm gonna have to go with the Astros on starting pitching. But moving on to the offense, Andrew, you got the Boston hitters who have had an up and down season versus the Astros who have really been hitting for lots of power. Now, who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, this one's kind of a tough one for me because, like you said, the Red Sox have been so inconsistent throughout the season. But they have a pretty solid core of Mookie Betts. Dustin Pedroia has been there for a long time. Andrew Benintendi, who's been pretty solid for them. But the Astros have the best hitter in the series. And look at Jose Altuve, who's kind of been an under-the-radar AL MVP candidate this season. Kind of going over stats for the season. He's batting 346, 24 home runs, A1 RBI. Scored 112 runs with 32 stolen bases. So he's been very impressive this season. I might have to go with the Astros on this one. I just feel like they're just a little bit more consistent offensively.
Yeah, yeah, this is a really interesting matchup because on the Houston offense, you have the pop, you got the home run hitters, and really look at the Boston offense. They love to play small ball, and what the Red Sox offense does is that they're going to beat you through timely hitting and aggressive base running. That's what they've been doing all season, and I think they're going to continue to have postseason success. You look at Mookie Betts, it starts all around him. He's had 24 home runs, 102 RBIs, and 26 stolen bases. If the Red Sox offense is going, it's going to go through him. Looking at Houston's offense, not only do they have under the radar AL MVP candidate Jose Altuve, they also have it in George Springer. He's hit 283 with 34 home runs and 85 RBIs. This guy has had a fantastic bounce back year. And they also have a very deep offensive lineup. Guys like Marwin Gonzalez, not household names, but he's hit 303 with 23 home runs and 90 RBIs. So he's been a very productive member in this Houston offense. For me, I'm going to have to come down. I think the Houston offense has the better matchup in this one.
Yeah, well, let's move on to the defensive side of the plate here. What are you looking to see here from the defense?
For the defense, I think the Red Sox have the advantage, and it all starts with their superstar outfielder, Mookie Betts, who just has a great arm and can make the incredible acrobatic catch. I also like their middle infield with Pedroia and Bogarts. Those are two really good infielders. And they also have Andrew Benintendi. Probably said that last name wrong, but he's a great defensive outfielder. He's very fast. He can cover lots of ground very quickly. So I think Boston, if they're going to have a chance in the series, they're going to have to play spectacular defense with great pitching and timely hitting.
Yeah, I have to give the edge to the Boston as well, even though the Astros, I think they have a pretty respectable defense overall. The Red Sox just have a lot of, names that just pop out at you when it looks at the defensive side. So let's move to our final section here, the bullpen. Who's got the advantage here?
Man, I think this advantage has to go back to the Boston Red Sox, and mainly because they have the best closer in this series with Craig Kimbrell. He's been absolutely lights out, recording a 1.43 ERA, and 35 saves. But it's not only him that I like in this Boston bullpen. They have very good setup men in Joe Kelly, who has 14 holds and a respectable 2.79 ERA. But the guy I'm about to talk about, I think it can be the difference maker in this series. And this is David Price. He's going to be pitching from the bullpen. He's had lots of injuries this year, so he won't be a starting pitcher. But this is a guy where, say, Chris Sale or Drew Pomeranz or another starter gets chased early in the game, they can go to David Price and have him pitch 3 to 4 innings of relief and really kind of slow down the offense. So I think this is a special player to have in a bullpen. I'm excited to see how Boston's going to use him. And they also have Matt Barnes, who has had 21 holds, and that's been really good. So I have to go with the advantage for the Red Sox because looking at the Houston bullpen, Luke Gregerson has been absolutely horrible. They expected so much from him this year. He's got a 4.57 ERA and only 18 holds. That is really, really high ERA for the bullpen. Ken Giles has been pretty good for them. That's their closer. He's got 34 saves and a 2.30 ERA. They also have some pretty good setup men, though, with Chris Davinsky and Will Harris, who each have 24 holds and 20 holds. So besides Luke Gregerson, he's really been the only one that's really hurt the Astros bullpen. But I still have to give the slight edge to Boston on this one.
Yeah, just looking at the ERAs here for the Houston Astros, no one really stands out like a David Price or Craig Kimbrell here, so I'm going to have to go with the Red Sox in this one as well. So, finally, who do you got winning this series?
I think this is going to be a really good series, and I think it'll go 4 or 5 games. But I like the Astros in this series because I think their starting pitchers can really dominate the series and kind of hold Boston's offense back and make them struggle. And I think the Astros offense is too dynamic, so I'm going to have to go with Houston on this one.
I actually like the Red Sox in this one, and, like I said, this is a 5-game series, which means that we're going to see Chris Sale potentially twice if it does get to a 5th game. And like you just mentioned, David Price going to the bullpen, that only strengthens it even more when they didn't already have an advantage there as well as their defense. So I'm going with the Red Sox in this one, and I think they'll just get just enough out of their offense to kind of pull off some close wins here.
Yeah, well, that's our thoughts on the ALDS preview between the Red Sox and the Houston Astros. Let us know what you think in the comments below on who's going to win this series. Let us know if you agree with us, if you disagree with us. We'd love to have conversations with you guys. And thank you so much for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching, guys.